I devour beats like a vegan. Got so many thirsty dudes all in my tall can. Fat belly Alberta, if you will, cause I am eating. Not worried about the finish line, the race I'll be proceeding. If I let your dude get some of this wet, he'll be clinging. Bet I bust on beats, my verse, my children call him semen. Come so hard when I spit out the flow, but catch me preening. Man, I stay so fresh when I walk past, you hear me squeaking. I'm talking about the juxtaposition of gangster rap and diva. Open up my clutch, you find lip gloss in a bag of reefer. Guys, they wanna fuck, but I will bust strapped with my heater. Crack slow pounds on him, he come fast, see dark spots like cheetah. Told you I'm a beast, plus the DaDonDiva stay G'd up. So trust I give two fucks about these hating ass skeezers. Waiting on me to fail, can't stand to see me scorch the scene. I'm too hot like a fever, disintegrate, incinerate, but cold like in a freezer.
Yeezy, 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 just jumped over jumping.
Alright, y'all, it is Dream Big Music with Dream Big Artists out here with DaDonDiva. How are you? How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
Great. You made your way all the way out to the studio in Marietta, Smyrna.
Yeah. It wasn't bad traffic though. I kind of expected it to be crazy, but it was pretty easy to get here. So.
Yeah. Why Atlanta?
Well, God talked to me.
Yeah.
You know, my experience when I first came down here last year went really well. I mean, the people I met just really were important people, not necessarily plugged in the industry. Some are, but you know, it just talked to me. It was very direct, very blatantly saying move. You know, a lot of people move to Atlanta in hopes to doing all these cool things, and there's a lot more networking and opportunities down here too. So. You know, I do music, so I mean, it's a no-brainer, you know, to come to a place that kind of, you know, caters to that. Because where I'm from, it's like little open mics here and there. You don't really get the shine, you don't get the opportunity, so jumped on it.
Alright, so tell me a little bit how the DaDonDiva name came to life. Like, I kind of could feel a little bit of why, but, you know, tell the, you know, the listeners and you know, people that haven't listened to you.
DaDonDiva actually came from my middle name, which is really similar. It's DaDonDiva. And about 7th grade, people started calling me Diva because I like these big platforms and little baby doll dresses. And we had our little lip gloss popping. Yeah, we love the pink. I love the pink.
Lipstick. Cute.
But yeah, I mean, Diva started way back then, and then, you know, my mama actually used to call herself the DaDonDiva. When I was younger, and then me and my sister was just kind of thinking about names, and it's like it just came about like really quickly. She was like, DaDonDiva. I'm like, that makes so much sense, and we rolled with it. So, and I know there's some other artists I've seen that, you know, call themselves DaDonDiva, but you know, I'm DaDonDiva, KY. So
take us through like what got you into rapping. Who inspired you? I know you said one of your influences or people that you listen to is Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Like what made you say like, yo, I'm about to fuck this shit up too?
Well, it's actually really funny. I just, I was selling dresses. I had been kind of hopping around doing different things. I felt like I was the jack of all trades and master at nothing. So I got on my knees that night and I prayed about it, you know, just asking God to give me some direction. And that next day, my sister called me and she's like, I know what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? She's like, you're supposed to be a rapper. And I'm like, what? Like, it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I've never rapped. I've never done this. She's like, think about all the people that think you're a rapper anyway because you know all the songs. And I'm like, that doesn't make you a rapper. And she's like, well, I had a dream. And she's like, we were overseas.
Yeah.
You were in all white and diamonds. We were arguing because you didn't want to go on stage because you didn't think they would understand your language. And it was your concert. So we argued back and forth in the dream. She's like, that's what you're supposed to do. I'm like, you had that dream last night. And she's like, I got on my knees and prayed about my direction last night. You can't play it like this. You gotta, you know. And then from there, I ended up watching the BET Awards, and Jeezy was performing. He was the last performance, and he was doing "Lose My Mind."
Lose My Mind.
Yeah. I started flipping the words, and you know, I was like, well, that kind of sound. That little bar was all right, so. I start writing, and then I read it back to myself, and I got chills. And I'm like,
ooh, fire.
let me call my sister
Yeah.
and just read this to her. And she might think it's whack, but she didn't even let me finish. She's like screaming on the phone, like, oh my God, somebody's gotta hear this. And I'm like, and this is here's 5 years later. So that's how I started. I was in the dance and singing. I was not even thinking about rap. You know, I love the music and I listen to rap more than anything, which is funny, but I never thought to do it ever. I didn't think I could write, but I didn't think I had the voice to do it. So that's how it happened.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. God shows up if you ask him. Like, he can be really direct in his message. So I couldn't turn my back on that. I mean, that was just too blatant. So yeah, that's how it happened.
You know, how you feel about the culture coming from Kentucky. I know you only been here for a short period of time, but just the Atlanta culture, it's a little different. I've never been to Kentucky, so I can't really get an idea, a grasp of what it's like. But I know, being from New York, I'm from New York, coming to Atlanta is very different.
Okay, well, you know, Kentucky is not too far away from Atlanta, culture-wise.
Yeah.
In fact, I feel like that was like boot camp. Like, if you can get people to like your music there, because they're really hard. Like, you can't win them over easy. A lot of the times I think people feel like because it's Kentucky, they think country. So people are harder. And it's also changed over the years because, you know, a lot of people have moved into the city and it's become bigger. So we are exposed to a little bit more than we were, you know, back in the day. But being down here and really seeing it just kind of seems the same to me. I think the sound is a little different.
Okay.
But I think the culture is right, you know, neck and neck. Even the weather, like, it kind of is almost the same. It just probably a little more cold there, a little more snow. But down here, I feel like, you know, it's a little more accepting of different. I think that might be the difference between there. It's like there you gotta be this hood. You gotta be super hood. You gotta have street cred. Like they not saying they don't have support for people that work every day, but it seems like that ghetto superstar, that mentality drives people to support the artist more there. Here I feel like if you're good and you got swag and you got a presence about you know, people are more apt to listen to you.
Yeah, definitely.
Really highlighting the queens, because I think we get lost in the shuffle sometimes, and if you're not, you know, trying to be super sexy, you know, talking about being in a trap, then, you know, we can kind of fall, you know, or if you're not conscious, it's like everybody wants to put you in a box.
Yeah.
But I rap based off what the beat talks to me, you know, it's not about, you know, me trying to be hard or trying to be sexy. It's the music speaks to me. So, and there's a lot of females like that. So I think that we're opening up, you know, that mindset of the female rapper, and it's not just a Nicki Minaj, and it's not just the Brat, you know. We're like all of that in one. So it's a lot of females that are awesome out here, and I'm looking forward to really networking and seeing what's out there, because it's still kind of small, so I don't get that exposure to other artists, you know. So I'm excited about that here. I haven't seen any females here yet in Atlanta, so I'm excited to see
What's your message in your music?
My message really is about embracing being a woman in this world, being a mom, you know, being a hard worker, not expecting anybody to give you anything. Like, we work hard, we go to school, you know, women are not, so much of the music is like nothing ass bitch, and she's sitting at home and she ain't doing nothing, she's sleeping when she's twerking and she's stripping and, you know, not judging anybody, but all my girls, we work. We work full time. We take care of our kids. You know, we ain't at the child support office trying to get like, we're out here. And that's my message really, is to show the world that, like, we're much more than these small little avenues that they're going down to highlight the female, you know, of America, the black woman. Like, we're really strong females and we're great mothers, and, you know, it's important to me to show everybody that we're not just one note. We're not just in a box.
Janet.
Okay.
Mary J.
Okay.
Beyonce. Or Rihanna.
Janet can go. You know, I love Janet. She's a pioneer in the game, but I never thought Janet could sing.
Really?
I thought she was okay. I thought she just could hold a tune. She's like J-Lo to me. Like, they can dance, they can perform.
Yeah.
But the singing to me was like, man.
But Janet is Janet.
Yeah, but Janet's Janet to me because of Michael.
Yeah.
Like, I think if she wasn't his sister, she wouldn't have been as big because her voice is not like that. But I love her to death. Like, she's made amazing songs.
Yeah.
It's, you know, you can't deny her star power.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, like, if I had to get rid of anybody, it's not gonna be Mary. It's definitely not gonna be B. And Rihanna, I don't know. I like Brie. You know, I think she speaks to the younger generation. I wouldn't want to get rid of her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna always support the queens, but if I had to get rid of one, she's out.
Hey,
she's out.
Janet, you gone.
Get the love cane.
So, since you're a Beyonce fan, I know you saw her Super Bowl performance and you saw everything, the madness she caused in the media and everything like that. I just wanted to see how you felt about it. I know how I feel about it. I want how the DaDonDiva feel about it.
This is a business.
Yeah.
And you want to make people talk.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna make people talk, let them talk about what's relevant. So I feel like, you know, she capitalized on something. It was very smart to me. Very smart move on her behalf. And I think that it started, you know, a kind of a wave, a ripple. You know, it's crazy that so many of our people can get killed and so much can be going on in our communities. And you might see some memes and some Facebook posts, but, you know, people are not really, I'm not saying they're not standing up, but it's like it's taking longer for our people to rise up to the occasion because it's always been up to us to change things. We couldn't never really rely on anybody else. It took us to get together and make a difference. So if we can use somebody as iconic as her and get that message out a little bit faster and get people talking faster, I'm game.
Yeah.
I'm game.
I've just heard when I go on Facebook and I'm seeing everybody, you know, share posts like from this news reporter Tory Lennon's talking about, you know, the Black Panthers and, you know, how they caused a lot of violence and sending the wrong message. And, you know, she just doesn't really know what she's talking about.
Well, you know, you have to be careful when you start a movement. That you don't make people feel angry and feel like, let's go out and kill. Because the idea is to get people to love. So, you know, I understand why Black Panther did what they did. However, we always have to try to push to be the better person and fight with our minds and not guns and violence, because, you know, that's not helping anybody's situation.
Definitely.
You know, it's like whooping a kid for getting in a fight. You know what I mean? Like it's redundant. You just have to teach people love. I think that's what the ultimate thing is. And if you're not doing that, then it's not gonna work.
I just feel like a lot of people just took the negativity in the situation and just missed the whole purpose of it. Because, I mean, one, the Panthers were playing. I mean, I just think she was making a play off of that. I just feel like people were just feeding into negativity and wasn't seeing the overall message of what she was trying to do.
I feel like people look for things to nitpick with. You know, it can get real petty with all that, you know, and we can get so far away from the message. And I think that's even in itself an angle that people use to try to steer us off of the path of what that whole message was about. So we can get, you know, into all this little toying around, or we can get down to business and talk about the real matters that she's talking about and highlighting. It was 50 years, you know, anniversary, right, for the Black Panther. So, I mean, it was smart. It was a great business decision. Like, you cannot knock that in no way, shape, or form. Even if you hate Beyonce, even if you hate Black people, like, it got everybody talking. Like, that's entertainment. Like, that's what it's supposed to do. So, and then on top of that, like I said, it got people thinking. So, I think she did a wonderful job. And I'm not saying it because I'm biased, because I love B, but like, if it would have been anybody, I would have been on board for that.
I understand. So tell us about a little bit about any upcoming projects, the music you're working on.
I'm working on.
Who you working with?
I haven't really started working with anybody. For so long, I was so centered on getting people to understand I can actually do this.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's hard for females. We can get into that song and dance, but now I'm just now at the point where I feel like, okay, now I have enough material where I can start to branch out and start to do features and start to work with different people. And I really just, I had 2 kids back to back.
Yeah.
I couldn't move around like, you know, I wanted to pregnant. Like I was still shooting videos pregnant. You just didn't know how to sit.
Yeah.
But now I'm just now at that level. So I'm working on, you know, a few singles. I dropped a mixtape. I felt like, you know, I don't like putting out too much music and it's just floating in the wind, and I put money and time and effort into it, and it doesn't get the attention that I need it to. So I was like, let me slow down and start working on singles.
Okay.
So that's what I'm working on now, and I'm just looking for, you know, more beats and more people, you know, to feature with, really. And people that, you know, are moving and shaking too, so I can see how it works down here and how everything is moving, because it's a lot different. Bigger.
It's pretty simple. I'll tell you a little bit about it. Well, where exactly can we find your music?
You can YouTube. You can go. YouTube is probably the most updated because that's the last single I dropped. Is a video is on there. And Superwoman, I'm actually working with a friend of mine, and he moved down here before me.
Yeah.
So he was already shooting my videos, and we're going to work on the video for Superwoman. I just put it on TuneCore, so it'll be available on iTunes and Spotify and all that good stuff.
Okay.
It usually takes that about a week or so, as long as, you know, the graphics are good.
Okay.
But other than that, you know, I'm beat shopping. Beat shopping. I need, you know, those tracks. And like I said, that music talks to me. So it lets me know where I'm going. Like I hear a song like, oh my God, it made me think of this, you know.
Yeah.
And I get to write, and, you know, that's my motivation too. It shows I'm a better performer than, you know, I think people think of a rapper, you know, it's kind of standing ourselves screaming the mic, you know, muffle the sound, 16 people on stage. But I have a performing arts background, so I'm excited to display, you know, that I'm not just this person that can write and, you know, put words together real cool, you know, say some cool bars. Like, you know, I'm the total package, and I just want to prove that. You know, I'm just going to prove that path.
And is everything at DaDonDiva?
I mean, you type in DaDonDiva.
Okay.
I mean, you're gonna get some other stuff, but if you type in like wifey, it's my last video I shot, and it's Pretty in Pink. It's a few ones on there. I think people enjoy. You know, being an indie artist and just starting really understanding the game. It's not like some big budget videos, but the music is good, and I think a lot of people see that and, you know, they are inspired. I hear good things, so, you know, I can't complain. You know, the game is being good to me. I can't make these people like Diva. You know, I can't. I can try, but at the end of the day, you either gonna like the music or you're not.
Yeah.
You know, so because people like it, it's like touching me. Like it's just it tickles me. Like, it's the best little magic that God could ever give me. Really.
Good. All right. Well, appreciate you coming out here and supporting.
Thanks for having me.
Joining us at Dream Big Music. Follow us at Dream Big Artists.